Hello and welcome. This is Santos with Fail Gaming, and in today's episode, I am going to do a quick how to the Foundry beginner mode. The Foundry is a tool within the Neverwinter game that you can use to create your own quests and dungeons and/or campaigns. Basically, it's just a way to add user-generated content into the game and keep the content fresh. I've played a bunch of Foundry missions that are really interesting that were created by other players. And I can see this only getting bigger and better as people learn to use the Foundry more efficiently and effectively, and making even better stuff as the developers add tools for us to use. Like right now, as far as or putting spawns and stuff in, you can only put encounters, which are 2 to 5 pack enemies in your maps. There's really no way of adding boss fights as of yet, and it's still, I think, only up to 5 players with your 5 companions, so 10 people could be on a map, but it's 5 real players and 5 NPCs fighting alongside each other. So they still haven't. They could probably add raid type of thing scenario where you could have 10 people, 10 real players, or 20 real players on a map, and then add some. I would like it if they would add some like boss things where you could actually pick bosses or at least boss abilities and add it to an NPC and use an NPC as a boss fight. That would be pretty cool because that would your combinations of dungeons would be limitless. There's some dungeons that take 2 hours. There's some dungeons that take 4 hours. There's some dungeons that take 15 or 10 minutes to complete. As far as Foundry quests, mine is about 10 to 15 minutes that I created. This one right here that I published on 5/6/2013, Remembering the Titans. This is my first delve into the Foundry. I did not know how to use it, and I didn't see any videos or read anything, so I went in blind. I did work on it for 4 or 5 days before I actually put it up for review, but that's my first delve into it. And I'm pretty familiar with the tool set now, so I'm going to make this quick video. It's basically going to show you how to make a pretty linear quest line for your own dungeon with just just one boss or one ad fight or whatever. It's just to give you a basic gist of how to use the Foundry if you want to make your own quest. I mean, it's a really cool tool. Not everybody likes making content. Not everybody likes adding story and dialogue. I thoroughly enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy painting a picture in somebody's mind of something they're getting ready to walk into, and then seeing how their brain processes what I told them, and how creative they can be at either finding a way out or finding a solution. That really intrigues me. That's why I still do pen and paper D&D from time to time with friends. But let's jump into this new one we created. It's called Helping the Patrol. Alright, and here we go. We are on the Foundry page. This is your quest tab. This is where you put all the pertinent information for your quest. You basically want to give people an overview of what they're getting into. You want to spice it up, juice it up a little bit, because when people go to the catalog to see, they look at the time limit and they might read a little bit in the first few lines and see if it's something they might want. They'll also look at the titles, and if it pops, they'll be like, oh, let's try that one. Like, for instance, I don't think it's up anymore. I don't know why they took it down, but there was one on there that I did a few days ago called Blood and Sand, and immediately my mind went to, oh, is this a Spartacus-based quest? Because Blood and Sand was the show on TV. So I went into it, and it was based on Spartacus, where they had, like, the characters and Gannicus and the names like that in there. It wasn't... it didn't stick to story, like, pretty true, just because you do have some limitations as to what you can do, but it was pretty good reading the guy's story and stuff. It was pretty good, and the fights were pretty intense. And seeing some of the way he used the bosses, I liked it. So there's stuff that you can do like that. Like I said, you want to make it pop. For this one, we're only going to use a name helping the patrol. It's something simple. It's just going to be basically a test run, so you guys can see how we put together. Here I put my description: while walking around the enclave, you stumble upon a guard looking for help. As you offer to help, quiet day in the enclave gets intense pretty fast. That's basically it. You have 1,000 characters that you can do to put this together. You also want to add, if it's going to be a 1-player, a 2-player, or 5-player run, there are some dungeons that people have made really, really hard that you need to take a team of 5 in there to even survive. And you want to let people know that you don't want people jumping into your Foundry mission and then finding out it was for a 5-person after dying repeatedly, and then giving you a low mark or whatever. So you want to make sure you let people know, hey, this is a 1-player dungeon. If it's a 1-player, like my story, for instance, my Remembering the Titans, I put it to 1-player, but it's very, very hard as a solo, and you're gonna need a lot of pots. I made sure I put that, but then I put underneath 2-player, and that's what the suggested group size would be for my Foundry. So in this, we're just gonna make a very easy linear dialogue interaction type linear quest line, so you can see how the stuff works. It's going to be very simple. 1-player can easily do this sleeping. So there we did that. Then you have your language. Obviously, you have 3 different ones here. You can pick one from English, Dutch, and French. Let's go back here. And then here in the private notes, I added this just to show you, but it doesn't matter what you put there. This is for your own benefit. Let's say the mob in dungeon room 2 is walking in the walls. And somebody told you that over here. They did a review and they were like, oh man, I really, really liked your dungeon. It was really, really cool. But in the dungeon, in the room 2 of the dungeon, where one of your quests is to kill all the mobs, there's one mob that's walking into the walls, and I can't kill him, so I can't progress with your quest. Well, let's say I popped up in the morning, drinking my cup of coffee, reading my reviews, checking out my tips, see how much people paid me. I go, oh, okay, look, there's an issue. All right, I don't have time to work on it now, but boom, I'll put the private notes there, and then I'll come back to it later, and I'll know it's actually a mob. I'll know what I have to do. Mob in dungeon room 2 is walking in the walls, and then I can go and fix it, and then republish it, so nobody else is having the issue. Or at the very least, I can come into here and put an edit note at the top or whatever. Just like hit there. Oh, no, there we go. Hold on. Just put like a edit. Mob dungeon 2 walking in walls, fix coming tonight, and that should be 2, not an @ symbol. And that way, oh, there we go. Let's go back, pause, and enter. That way people know that, hey, at least you know about it and you're gonna fix it tonight. That'll let people know that, oh, I'll wait for tonight to run it and stuff like that. You know, it's just a nice thing that you can do to just at least let people know so they don't run. The one thing you don't want to happen is have something break or be broken and not fix it, or not let the people that are playing your content know about it, because that's when you'll start getting really bad reviews, and you don't want to be known as the guy that does this, that puts up like messed up content or broken content, because nobody's going to want to run your dungeons. So okay, this is the story tab. This is where basically your objective library is, where you put your quests down. You see here I have everything for the most part pretty linear. It's all a boom, boom, boom. You do one right after the other, right after the other, right after the other, and there is no walk around. Now if I wanted to add some more like missions, like for instance a dialogue, we could add a dialogue here, we could add a door unlock here, we could probably add dialogue there, and you know, inspect object here, and whatever we wanted to do. Then you start from the map, and then you'd go to either here, talk to the guard Franco. You could do this one, you could do this one, and if you do this one, you have to progress to this one before moving on to this one. It's any way you want to go. It's really open-ended. You can do that. You can add a bunch of stuff. You can add some more over here. It's really open-ended. Let's go ahead and delete these though. Delete, delete, delete. For the purposes of this little how-to, we're making it really straightforward and simple. Just one after the other. It's going to be a linear quest line. You're going to talk to Guard Franco, then you're going to patrol this, you're going to patrol that, until you get to you're talking to the little girl. But these are the different things you have from the objective library to add as far as quests are concerned. You can have interact with objects, which you see I do have some. You can have dialogue quests, which I do have some. You can have reach points, which you see I have one here. Unlock door, I have one there. Obviously, I have a few other dialogue. You see here I have a kill enemies quest. I'm not using an inspect object one. Don't think. No, I'm not. But you can see how you would do the different ones. Interact with object. It's pretty straightforward. Go to this area and click on this. It'll complete the quest. Pretty simple. Kill enemies. Pretty self-explanatory. Dialogue is pretty self-explanatory. Talk to an NPC. Go through the chat options. Reach the end. Inspect object is basically like interact with object. You're going to look at something to complete the quest. Unlock doors, pretty self-explanatory, and reach point is pretty self-explanatory. Now what I want to do is show you some of the how to you get these things done. And let's start with the map on this side. Whenever you start a story, you have to add a map. There's a bunch of different maps. I'll start by saying that. You can have a pre-generated map. You could have a Neverwinter zone map, or you can have a blank piece of canvas that I believe starts at 2,000 by 2,000 square feet, and you can go to town on making whatever your heart desires on the blank map. Caution, doing that right away is going to get a bit overwhelming because there is so much stuff to add and so much stuff can break. If you look at the top here, you see a tasks option. If you get something wrong or broken on the map, you're going to get numbers in here. You can click on that box and it'll tell you where there's something that's broken that you need to fix before you can publish it. So I would suggest that you go with the pre-generated map, or you use a Neverwinter zone map for your first story quest or for your first Foundry mission, because it will make things a lot easier. You don't have to worry about adding NPCs. You don't have to worry about adding stuff like chairs or fodder material. If you do a pre-generated map, you'll still have to add your NPCs, but everything else will be taken care of. And I'll show you what those look like in a second. First, let's talk about the Neverwinter Adventure Zone map, since that's what I'm starting off with. What is a Neverwinter Adventure Zone map? Well, if you go to any door out of a city to go port to the next area, like for instance, leaving Protector's Enclave, you're going to get a map to pop up, and then there's going to be a bunch of areas where you can go to. All those areas on that main map are Neverwinter Adventure Zone maps. Protector's Enclave is a Neverwinter Adventure Zone map. Basically, these maps, you are not allowed to change anything, because those are the maps that you're going to be running through in-game, and everybody else is going to be on that map as well. So you cannot add stuff to that map. You cannot take stuff from that map. You can use NPCs as quest givers that are on that map. You can use any item that's interactable as an interactive object within that map, but you cannot add your own stuff. You cannot, even the chest, if you're going to have a chest spawn anywhere in that area, you have to go to one of the predetermined chest areas and use that chest. Those are the Neverwinter Adventure Zone maps. Obviously, for obvious reasons, the developers don't want you breaking the maps that every player needs to use in-game. Obviously, they're not going to let you add or change stuff to it. Now, with saying that, if you wanted to add, for instance, I'm not going to use Protector's Enclave, but any other zone, if you wanted to add a different zone, but that has it's the same attributes as for instance, Protector's Enclave, you can get that map from the map designer and go to town adding your own stuff to it. But that's going to be an instanced zone where your people doing your quest are going to zone into. It's not going to be the overworld map or the Neverwinter Adventure Zone map. So with that said, let's go ahead and check out the maps real quick. And the only map that I have is the current one that I can work on that's already generated. It's my Potter's residence. And like I said, you're not allowed to add anything to the Neverwinter Zone map, so they're not going to be here. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. There we go. But I wanted to show you create a map. Now, if you go to create a map, like I was saying, Black Dagger Keep, for instance, you can use that. Cloak Tower, you can use that map. And you see how that pops up here. You can use these maps and generate your own mobs on it. If you want to change the Cloak Tower into a ghost story or a ghost tower, where there's somebody at the top of the tower and it's a ghost, by all means, you can do that. You can do whatever your heart desires with this. And these are the indoor maps. There's a bunch of them to pick from. There's a Guild Hall, Merchant Square, you see that now, Plaguefire Ruins. Everything is here for you to use. Sanatorium, Stonecaller Caverns. There's all the indoor maps, basically caves and sewers and stuff like that, little dungeons. You can also use outdoor maps, and outdoor maps is the bigger maps. You can use. You can go to a smaller one. You can pick an empty map. It's just here's a nice little cave that looks like an N, or a little like cavernous area. It's 1024 by 1024. It's a windy S-curve canyon, and then you can add the entrance here and fighting mobs all the way around till you get here and you can loot your chest. But then you'd have to spawn everything. Like you have a general map, but you can add more mountains, rocks, debris, whatever you want to add, or you can get a detailed map like the Black Lake District or Evans Downs Part 1, and you're gonna have stuff already. Let's get rid of those empty ones. The graveyard, for instance, you can get one like that that's already has everything now. Path Fork detailed. You have all the trees and everything built into it. Here's another outdoor one, Never Death area. All these are available for you to use. Even an ocean expanse, where it's a basic ocean, and you have the sky and the clouds and everything already set for you. Pirate Skyhold, whatever you want to use, it is here for you to use. All you have to do is add your own stuff to the maps or add your own people to it. So let's close that because we don't really have to add one. We already made one. What I will do is I will zoom out and I'm going to show you a couple tricks and tips. But let's go through the asset library and what you're allowed to do with the maps once you start a map. Let's say you started this is a plain canvas map. That's the 2,000 by 2,000 square feet. You see how excuse me. You see how big it can be. This is where my entry point is. I use the two hallways that I put back to back here to make a longer hallway. But you see how big and expansive this can be. And then you see your budgets down here, what you can use per map. Excuse me. But here's the different things you can do. Special. You have your rooms, your details, your traps, your teleporters, your NPCs, and your encounters. Let's start with specials, and we'll go through all these real quick. AI Node Ambush, AI Node Guardian, AI Node Sniper. Now these three are all nodes for you to put down for your mobs or your encounters to act a certain way. Basically, let's say you have a nice outdoor map like that S map we saw, and you put bushes on either side of the trail, and you want your encounters to ambush the party. Well, you can put, let's say you have two fighters. You can put one on the left bush and one of these nodes on the right bush, and then put one of the encounter guys on the left bush and one on the right, and they will hide in that bush, waiting for the people to walk by, and they'll ambush them. So that's just a way to get your encounter to act a certain way. Or you can do a guardian node where you'll have them stand like. You'll have him at a bridge standing in front of it, and you shall not pass, all that good stuff. Have him there, and you want him to guard that point. You can put a guardian node there, and that NPC will not leave the vicinity of that guardian node. He will stay there and fight from there. Or you can do a sniper where you want the snipers to be up on the rocks. You can put these sniper nodes up on the rocks, and then add your encounter guy up on the rocks. That's a ranged person, and he will stay up there shooting at the people walking through. So this is a way to get the encounters to behave a certain way. You have AI node, ambush, guardian, and sniper, and that's the way you do those. Now these doors, let me zoom in real quick and I'll show you what these doors are. You see these doors right here, and this door right here, and this door right here. These is what this is. It's basically a way to add rooms together to the map. For instance, let's go ahead and use this one as an example. Oh, hold on, layout. Let's use this one as an example. This is just a human interior hallway, straight short. What I did was I converted this into a side room by adding it right here. You see how it automatically puts the green through it? Let's say I wanted to delete that. And there's no way to go into this room now from this hallway because there's no door set. What you would want to do is boom, set a door, and now you have a doorway into this room. What I currently have is the respawn fire in there, so I can get them pretty quick, or get back pretty quick, I should say. Yes, there's a spawn point here, so if you die, you can spawn here, obviously. But this would be a fire where people can regenerate their health. If they needed a break or come in here or whatever, stand in the fire, do their prayer thing, whatever. I added one to the map, and it's in this room. Now, with these as well, you can add certain things. For instance, on this one right here, I actually added a human interior door. If you just put these door things there, it's just going to be an open doorway. There isn't going to be a door at all. For this one, though, let's go back here. I added this human interior door, or you could add one of these, but I added the human interior door. And it is clickable to open. It's just not there for a look, so you can open this door and go into this room. And when we play through the map, we'll show it to you. There's nothing behind this door really, so it's just an active door that you can open. Now this one down here is also, I put a door there, but this one, there's something special to it. For instance, this one, you cannot open this door until you progress in my quest chain. So basically, after you get through all these and you move on to my custom map, which is Potter's Residence, you have to check the dining hall and you have to check on the person in the dining hall before you can open the door to the dungeon area. Basically, it's a key, so you have to get a key to open it. Now I have this person, Susan. She's going to be the NPC that actually drops a dungeon key. And you're asking, well, how do I get a dungeon key, or where do I get the dungeon keys? How do I make them drop the dungeon keys? Easy. That's where we transition to items. Here you see I made some just random keys. This one is going to be actually part of our quest. So I named it the dungeon key, and it opens the door to the dungeon. I put the description. Once you go to create an icon, you can create an icon and keys to the house, whatever you want to put it. You create a quick thing right there, and then you can go and pick an icon for it, a look for it. Now, if you're going to have it as part of your quest and name it a key, I would suggest you actually scroll through here. You can pick anything you want. But if I pick a backpack to name that my key, it's going to be pretty hard for them to look through their backpacks, even though they don't really need to. It'll be hard for them to look through their backpack to make sure they have it and be like, oh, there's a key, when it's in the shape of a backpack. You do have key icons. Let's say we use that one right there. So now, boom, this is created, and then I can put a little description. Opens the back door to the house. And boom, there we have an item we have created. So that's pretty easy, pretty quick. You can add any item you want if you want to add it into your story, an NPC to drop a certain thing. Especially if you're gonna make it where this item needs to be turned in later on in your story for you to proceed. Let's go back to the map. For instance, she's gonna drop the key, and in order to get through this door, you need that key. So you need to come and do this area here, and then get the key, and then open the door. So that's the way the doors work. You can always lock or unlock the doors. That moves on to these blue ones right here. Place marker, respawn point, sound. We already covered respawn point, which is right here, which is basically the fires where you can recover your health, do your invocation, whatever. Place marker. Now, if we want to do a quest, let's go back to the quest page. If you want to do a quest like reach point, which we do have one here, check the dining hall, you're going to have to pick a marker to be the area where you reach. Well, you see here in the map, I placed that marker here and I made this area smaller, so as soon as you walk into this circle, you will complete the story quest. And most of these quests have objectives. Obviously the dialogue doesn't, but it drops a key. The open door, you need... let's go to it. Oh, there we go. You need... Alright. Required item, dungeon key. So you need that dungeon key in order to open this door, the human interior door, and consume required item is going to be true. So in order to go through this door, you need to have this in your pack, and it will be consumed upon you going through that door. So that's how you set that up. Let's go back to the map. And then once you get through this door, you're going to have this area. Now, really quick, we'll go down to my dungeon area. You'll see that my dungeon area is kind of attached to the house, but tricks of Hollywood, it's actually underneath. It just looks like it's attached. It's like a facade, a false facade here. So basically, once you get through here and you talk to this NPC, this little cleric half-elf, and he yells, he's going to yell something from a movie. It's one of my favorite lines, and it's like, it's the guy from Harry Potter. He runs in and he's like, "Troll, there's a troll in the dungeon." Well, I basically added that line here, and you go down here, and it's basically, you see this right here? This is a teleport. We'll actually show you how they use these. It looks like an open hole, and then when you get to this end, there's an open hole in the ceiling with a ladder protruding out to the ground. So it's a nice little nifty way to include like a dungeon area without actually having a door between it, because it wouldn't be very dungeony if it was a door going into the next room and it was just made of brick and that was your dungeon. You need to go down into the depths of the wet, nasty, dank room to be a dungeon. So we added this to make it down here dungeon. And then once you get into here, you're gonna go into this room. Now I did add these fight music nodes and stuff. Let's see, room platform. Let's make it room platform. There we go. And the other one, let's make that room platform. Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. Room platform as well. Now, these are things that you don't have to add. I added it for a little bit of flavor and to show you guys how to do it. You basically add music to the room. You can add ambience. You can add whatever you want. Once you put it in here, I'll show you. Like, for instance, this is going to be our fight room. So I have it as soon as you talk to the halfling up here, and you zone into the dungeon, you're going to hear fight music. And this fight music is going to start almost immediately, and it's going to play until you kill the troll. Once you kill the troll, this one here in the background, oh goodness, there you go, hold on. This one here in the background, you see it's going to say, play when, objective complete, kill the troll. So once I kill the troll, or trolls, this song is going to play. It's basically the, let's go back up, the boss 3 victory. And that leads me to the sound room. You see here, any category, you see all the different categories, nature, humanoid, ambient, sound effect, monster, and music, and then looping or one time. Now you can add, like for instance, there's one map that I have where, in my main story, in my main Foundry quest, where you're talking to an NPC, and all of a sudden I have it where it gets to a certain dialogue option, because you can set it to, let's close that, you can set to play when, and then obviously objective complete is what I have it, but you can have it play when a dialogue prompt is reached. So when a certain dialogue prompt is hit, when you're talking to said NPC, you're going to hear like a cough, and I have it set for a cough, and she's going to be like, did you hear that? And then your character is going to be totally mindless, or he's going to say, oh, I didn't hear anything, and then boom, you're going to get ambushed from behind. So it's little neat things you can do for flavor. You don't have to add them. But if you want to be real detail focused, you can add this. So what I did just to show you guys how to use it is basically I just added fight music, and then like once you're done killing these 2 trolls, I added the boss kill music. And then once you're done with these, you're gonna there's gonna be a door here that's gonna disappear once you kill. You'll see here I added a door, and visibility actually appears immediately, so it's always going to be there, and the door will disappear when the objective is complete, at which point you will be able to exit the dungeon via this door over here. And that's basically how you use these 3 markers. Let's go ahead and move to rooms. Rooms are pretty self-explanatory. You have hallways and stuff. For this one, I was just using a house and then a dungeon, so I'll go interior and I'll go dungeon. Those are the only ones that I wanted. Here you see all the different dungeons you have. You can have like a dungeon room like that, which we did use. You can have a dungeon hallway. You can have a dungeon room that goes this way, so you can add a hallway and then go around. There's a bunch of different pieces you can make your own dungeon, like what I did with my house. Scroll up a little bit. You see, I entered here, and this is one piece, 2 block area, and then I added another one to make the hallway a little bit longer, and then I added another hallway here that it splits left and right. Now, why would I do that? It's because part of the quest goes this way, but one of the quests goes this way. So I want you to go this way first, and then come back. That's why I put the locked door. And then these 2 little hallway pieces I added as rooms, another long hallway, which opens up into a bigger room. Now, I did it with this one. This one's supposed to be a bedroom or something. Let's flip this around, actually. I think that'd be fine. Let's move it there. What is this potted plant? Let's put that over here. What's that? Fancy chair. Let's move that there. And let's move this over here. There we go. So once you have these rooms, well, how do you put stuff in it? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Because once you create the rooms using all the different ones here, and I'll show you a human interior versus a plain human interior versus one that's already made. This one is a large peasant house. You see the rooms are already made for you, but it's not. It doesn't have anything in it as far as stuff. Now, as you can see, this one they put a little bit more on that map. So you can pick these maps. There's another human interior. There's another human interior, and then you can fill them out. Well, how do you fill them out? Well, here's the details. There's everything is in here for you to be able to put in your house. You go to any, and you'll see there's hundreds upon hundreds of different items that you could use to put in your house. And you can put these anywhere you want. It's up to you. If you do put one in a wrong spot where it's going to be like in a wall or whatever, you will get the icon up here to show, and it'll tell you it's wrong, and it'll tell you exactly where, so you can go and fix it. Excuse me. Now, moving on. I didn't add too much stuff to these rooms. There is an option. Not every room has it, but there is an option for, we'll do it with the, alright, we're not going to do it with this one. There is an option where you right click on it and you can populate. What this will do, it'll just put a bunch of random things. This room specifically, I actually added everything myself. So everything you see in there was placed by me. But then you go into this room, and this is a random generated room. I just right-clicked in it, and I hit populate, and it added a bunch of things. Now, the first time I ran through this to make sure everything was copacetic, the bed, which I put here now, was right in the doorway because the room was set up for, the room was populated thinking there was no door here. So it put the bed right up against this wall, and when I went to try to run through here, there was a big bed blocking. Now that leads me to an in-game thing that you can use. Once you go onto your map to make sure everything is running properly, you are the GM or the DM of your own map. You have total control. You can one-shot kill mobs by using control and hitting the spacebar as a quick option. You can go into God mode where they can't kill you and you're just running around looking at stuff and fixing stuff. You can do whatever. So once you go into the map, if you see something's out of place or you want to move it a little bit, you can hit Control and then Tab. And Control and Tab, you'll be able to like move stuff around and do stuff like that. And just, oh, I want this facing this way. I don't want it facing that way. And you can do that in the map. Obviously, you won't be able to do it with these portals, but I'll show you why in a second. Let's go on to traps. Traps are pretty self-explanatory. If you played Neverwinter, you understand how the traps work. We added one trap to our map right here. It's right there. And then you see I have a skull pile that I'm putting on top of it to try to hide our traps so we can see how many people we can get to run over our trap and curse our name. But there's all the different traps, the arrows bank, the floor vents, the arrows themselves. You can pick from those. Pretty self-explanatory, which we move on to teleporter. Teleporters are basically dungeon entrances that you want to put. For instance, if we wanted to add a let's go here and do a callback. Any dungeon room. I want a dungeon room. All right, here. If I wanted to put, if I wanted to put another room, a dungeon room like that, and for instance, there was a door here, and I put a teleporter here and another one here. Basically, I could add stuff to the map without having to have it attached, and you go through this door and it'll automatically spawn you in here. So that's one way of doing dungeons. Let's show you populate option actually. Uh-oh, what did that do? Nope. Yes. I don't know what just happened. This is the one we want to populate. Why aren't you populating? Detail. There we go. You see how there it populated a bunch of dungeon cell doors and floor rags and all that stuff. Now this was originally empty, and I'll do this and show you. Let's see if I can delete them all. There we go. This is how you put the map down. It's empty, and when you populate, boom, it's just going to add a bunch of stuff to it. But we're not going to use this map. We'll just delete it. And let's go back to our content over here. Like teleporters, like I said, you can use this. There's a ladder teleporter where you'll have one ladder going up into the room and then one coming down from the next one. You know, it's just a little flavor thing you can add. Let's go ahead and move on. And we're going to talk about NPCs. Now, NPCs are exactly what it sounds like. There's a bunch of different skins you can use. You see there's a ton of them. You can pick male or female. The one thing you can do is you can click on them to check them out. See all these skins. Any mob, any encounter guy you put in the game, you can change the skin to make it to fit your story more. They also have like different. You see their bandit skirmisher. They're different. Let's go to a. You also have animals like boars and stuff that you can have attack or skin to look like a boar. Cats, panthers, chickens, whatever you want. There's a bunch of them here. There's also, like I'm showing you the ones that already have clothing on. You can change that clothing yourself later. There's just a dwarf craftsman. Of course, it's gonna. When I want one, it's gonna be a little bit harder to find. Let's go down. Oh, it's a dragonling. Awesome. Pretty cool. Let's keep going down. There we go. Drow male. You can also get these plain ones where it's just basically him in his underwear or her in her underwear, and then build them from the ground up. That's what those are there for, so you can build from the ground up. For instance, costumes. You see this one? I just made her into the zombie stance, but I picked this one. It was a generated, a random generated one. Now, if I wanted to create a costume, I could go into any one of these. Let's go down and go to dwarf, actually. And look for a dwarf female. See there, I'm going to get a dwarf in her underwear. And then I'll be able to, once I pick her, must specify a costume name. That's fine. Shorty. It's going to name her Shorty version 1. Create. Now I can go here and add a control wizard helmet if I wanted to make her a control wizard. Boom. We'll just do everything simple. Novice armor. There, control wizard. Don't matter. Corsair belt or control wizard. Shirt will do noble armor. For pants we'll do simple commoners, or no, we'll go with leather pants. And you can also color them here. But boom, we just made a look for our dwarf here. Control wizard look. You can make her any look you want. Now she's just standing average. You can make her do something like this, you know, whatever you want to put her. You can even have her floating like that if you want to make her, you know, like a higher being or whatever. You can also go to advanced mode, and you have the sliders. It's zoomed out already. You have the sliders where you can make a really small or really big dwarf. and then you'll be able to choose individual stuff like hair. Oh, let's get you back down here. Make you back down to size a little bit. There we go. You'll be able to preset her hair. Obviously, I'm wearing a helmet, so you're not going to see it. Dreads tied, or whatever you want to do. You can add a blindfold. You can add an eye patch. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you to customize it. You can even make her head width bigger and her head height bigger and make her, big head mode. There, big head on top of a small body. Face shape, you can increase that too, and there. Have a big head on top of a small body. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you to do it. There you go. That looks more, I don't want to say normal, but hey. And you can do that with the upper body, extend the torso. I think there's a boob slider. Yes, there's a boob slider. So you can do whatever you want. I know the kiddies are going to love playing with that one, but you have lower body as well where you can increase the leg size, so you can make the legs really tiny. So you have a dwarf with really tiny legs stacked and a big head. Hey, it's up to you to dream it. You dream it, you create it, you make it, you let people play it. So it's up to you to do it. We're not going to be using this model per se, so we're going to go ahead and delete it. I did make this model, and I did create one of the troll brutes. I customized the troll brute. There we go. I just put dreads on him to show you how to mess around with it. Alright, now let's go back to the map and let's see what else we're doing. Now encounters, last and not least encounters. Alright, encounters are how you set the trash in your dungeon. For this specific dungeon, we only went with let's go to layout, with one pack. You see there, it's a one pack. It's a Rebel Melee Hard Difficulty pack. It comes with 2 fighters in it, I want to say. Let's find it. Critter group. Oh, Rebel. Hard Melee. So this is the one we used right here. It comes with 2 enforcers, the National Rebel Brute Elite. You get 2 of those, you see there. And it's 2 National, so they're human models. But what I did, let's go back to detail. Since the quest is called, or this part of the quest is Kill the Trolls, I went ahead and you click on it and you could change the costume of it. So it went from being a human Nasher to a Fell Troll. And then this one went from being, a human Nasher into that's not the one that I picked for this one. That's the customized troll. Let's do it from scratch, obviously, so you can see how I'm going to do it. Troll there, Fell Troll, customized Brute, Troll Brute. We'll use a Fell Troll for this one. So, okay. So now we just changed it, and now we have a Fell Troll. And then you can name them. Oh, I don't know why that went to X-Land. It should be Clan. And they both should be part of the Troll Clan. Yeah, Troll Clan, Troll Clan. This one is Troll Nick, and this one is Troll Nate, based off of my nephews, Nicholas and Nathan. I'm going to let them play this one later, and they're going to get a kick out of it, because they're going to have 2 NPCs named after each one of them that are going to be pretty tough to kill, but you'll see it. So this basically how you put mobs. There is a little bit more advanced stuff. You see this side room here? I was going to try to put people in jail. That's a little bit more advanced tactics, so I won't go into depth, but there is a way if you wanted to pick like a group that had 3. This one has 3. This one has Rebel Hexer and Controller Elite Enforcer. So this one has 2. This one has 2. If you wanted to pick this group here that has 4, a Hexer and then 3 snipers, and you only wanted to use the Hexer and 1 sniper, the other 2 snipers you can put in a room that's adjacent to the room or to the building, and they'll be locked away and won't be able to meet. Now, the reason I say it's a little bit more advanced is because if you had a quest to kill a kill quest for Gens, you'd have to kill everything in that group for you to get credit for it. If you have something locked away, you obviously won't be able to kill it, so you won't be able to get credit, which means you will run into an error that this will not let you know because it's assuming that you're going to be able to get to everything. So you have to watch out for some things like that, and that's all you have on the map screen to make stuff with. You see here, you can always just grab stuff from the rooms and attach, and then use the door option from special to put a door in between. That's how you make the big maps, or you start from scratch and you make the big, huge maps. Let's go to, you already seen the costumes, you already seen the items. Last but not least, the dialogue trees. This is probably my favorite feature because I like to tell a story. Like I said, I like to paint a picture. Excuse me. Throat was a little dry. You come here and you have everything for your dialogue. Now, what's all this pyramid-looking thing? Well, when you first meet Garfrinko, he's going to be talking to himself. No one ever listens to me. And you're going to basically interject and say, hey, can I help you, Garfrinko? And then that's when the dialogue starts. When you click on him, the dialogue starts, and he's going to be like, oh, you're here to help me? And you're going to be like, well, I overheard your little tirade. You know, you're whining, so, hey, couldn't help it over here. And then he's going to get like, oh, okay, good. I can use some help. He's going to give you a quest, basically tell you that he wants you to, here's my situation. I've been on patrol for the last 2 days, you know, yada, yada, yada. What was me? Let's go down here. Oh, this is, sometimes it does get buggy. Then down here, after he tells you the thing, you can put a mission info or out of character. The mission info is going to be what our quest is going to be. So I put that there, and it's going to put it in a different color. Take over for Garfrinko and make sure the streets of the Enclave are safe. That's going to be our mission info. And then you're going to have one of two responses you can make back to Garfrinko. Yeah, I'll do it. Or you can say, what do I look like, a rent-a-cop? And basically you're going to turn down the quest. To which then you'll have two different subcategories. You're either going to go to here where he's going to say, oh, thank you very much for doing this. Or you're going to go here, he's going to be like, he can be like whatever, but in this case he's going to say, oh, well, I heard there's some gold in it for you, and then you're going to be like, whoa, gold? Why didn't you say so? Of course I'll do it. And you can either have both dialogues end there, or you can have, if you want to streamline the process, you're going to add something else anyway that says thank you or whatever here. Well, instead of adding the same thing you already added over here, let's delete that. You can do, like you see here, dialogue end, dialogue end. You can go and put it to over here, or let's this one actually. Wait, this, nope, that was right. The little arrow. You can point it to there, and it'll basically finish up with saying, "Oh, thank you," and then the dialogue ends. Now, if you said, you know what, screw you, I don't want to do nothing for you. What do I look like? You could actually fail this, put it to fail the story objective, and then the dialogue with that NPC will end, and you have to start all over and go to the next one. If you wanted to be do something like that, you could, but for this purpose, we're just gonna go over here. Boom, thank you. So after you say, "Well, am I here? There's gold," and his response is gonna be like, "Oh, it deleted it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Why didn't you say so?" From the beginning, comma, I will do it. Now you have that answer, and then it goes to him saying thank you, and that's where your dialogue ends. Now, let's go up and look at another one. Yes, this one. Troll, there's a troll in the dungeon. You see here I added mission info as well. Check out the dungeon and kill the troll. And then you're stay here, I'll kill it. Something simple, pretty quick, nothing too major. And let's move on to the ending one. This one right here ends it. And this one I did a little bit more to it. Excuse me. You're going to see here where he says, "Hello, adventurer. Thank you for taking my patrol. Blah, 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 blah. Do you have any news to report?" I sure do. Now you can pick what you want to tell him. You can say it was fairly quiet. You could say, well, you know, you see, whatever is your second response. And then you can add a third response. There was an issue, blah blah blah. You can pick what you want to tell him, and then he'll respond to you differently. For instance, this one, any chat option, any dialogue option, you'll be able to set an animation for how they, when you first encounter them, how they react to you. After you answer, you'll be like, this one's gonna be a friendly greeting because he's just had some rest, he's had some wife time, he's good to go. So he's going to be greeting you friendly. Before he was greeting you, he was stressed out. Now he's greeting you friendly. Hey, come here, friend. Thank you for doing this. And then you have an option on how he responds to you. He's going to ask you a question, and you're going to respond to him in either 1, 2, or 3. And then right here, he's gonna respond to your response. It was fairly quiet. It's gonna be a close up. He's gonna be happy that it was quiet. Great, glad it was quiet. Blah blah blah. Let's have some mead and whatever. And then you're gonna be like, thanks. He's gonna be like, if you say, oh well, it wasn't that quiet. You might have a troll problem or something. He's gonna be close up serious because he's gonna be like, oh really? And then you're gonna be like, He's gonna say thanks for the update. I'll get more guards patrolling that area immediately. Blah blah blah. And then if you do the third option, which is basically a smart, funny response, he's going to answer the question aggressively and say, not the Potters again, they're always getting into trouble. And then again, like I added over there, basically after each one of these, he's going to say, well, like I promised, there was some gold in it for you. Go here and get the stuff out of this chest. You've earned it. These are all, once he gives you the response on each one of these, they're all going to basically go to like I told you, here's some gold that I gold, and you're going to do the end dialogue with it. So basically that's a way to streamline your stuff, always ending on the same note or ending on something you want to do, and then he's going to tell you to go somewhere else. So that's basically how you put a quest together or a story together, linearly, I guess, if that's a word, a story in a linear fashion, I guess that you could say that. And it'll be quest after quest after quest after quest, and then you get to the end. Now, let's pray to God it works, and I can do it from the beginning. Let's go ahead and load up. I don't fall through the world to my death. And let it finish loading. And there we go. Awesomeness. You see there we have our quest to the right, helping the patrol. Talk to guard Franco. See our sparklies. We are going to move. It's also going to be a little laggy for whatever reason. Even though I'm on this map by myself, sometimes you see the mobs bug out and start spazzing back and forth, or there'll be some lag. I don't know if they just haven't optimized this, just because it is a foundry and you're not really going to crash anything because you are running in here by yourself anyway. So, but it's not optimized. It's a little buggy. Sometimes you can see the same mob, like 2 or 3 of them walking together. It looks like different dimensions type thing. We're gonna follow our shinies. Go to the shinies. Hey shinies. Hey, it's Guard Franco hanging out in the corner, and you can see. We'll just stand here for a second. Are you gonna do anything? Say anything? Maybe. Probably. No. So we're gonna talk to him, and you see he's upset. He's tired. He's been working a double. He's got a little Thundercat symbol looking thing on his chest. Whatever. And you're gonna go through the quest dialogue. You're here to help me. Oh, I overheard your little tirade. Blah blah blah. You're acting like a little, whiny baby. But anyway, I'll help you. So you're gonna basically do what it tells you. Your takeover, Guard Franco, and you can either say, "Oh, what do you think I'm rent a cop, whatever." He's like, "Well, there might be some gold in it for you." "Oh, why didn't you say so from the beginning?" Okay. He's gonna be like, "Brilliant, thank you," and then you're gonna take the quest and time to go. So now you're gonna follow the Sparkies. You're following the Sparkies. You're gonna follow the Sparkles or Sparklies, Shinies, whatever you want to call it. And you are going to run to your patrol area. If you see on the right, I named it Fiddler's Path, Patrol Fiddler's Path, because there's an actual place in this area called Fiddler's Path. So to keep true to the map, so people aren't looking for Santos' amazingly quiet and creepy alleyway, because that's not going to be in the math. I tried to keep it true to form so people could find it in case the sparkles weren't working. They could go to their map screen and, oh, where is this area? And either look to the right, I can't find it. I don't know where I'm going. What's this area over here? One, what is one? Helping the patrol. Okay, I see where I have to go. You know, whatever, whatever. But here, Fiddler's Path, there's going to be some stuff on the ground. Just going to kick through it and then see what's there, you know. Hey, I just completed Fiddler's Path. Now I have to go patrol the south of the Enclave. Okay, I'm running down south. I'm going to run. Hopefully you have a mount and you can just jump on your mount and do it. But I'm level 21 and don't have a mount because I haven't bought one yet. Maybe I'll stop by on my way and buy one. That's an idea. Do I have enough gold? I sure do. So we'll stop and get a regular mount here. Run. Tired of carrying this huge weapon on my back. But as you see, all that stuff we did, we're in the Protector's Enclave map, so you really can't add much to it, but you can do some stuff like this. I think this person sells them. Sell me a horse. Oh, I don't have enough. Of course. I thought I had enough. Okay. That's fine. We're just going to run to it, I guess. I have strong legs. Oh, there's a bear mount. Or a wolf mount. Run. Still patrolling. Hey, you there. What are you doing? Okay, carry on. Hey, no lounging. Keep it moving. You know, patrolling the area. Come over here. Make sure there's nobody hiding over here. Getting ready to do something bad. Alright. Any knock on the barrel? Anything in there? No. And we're done patrolling this area. Now we're going to go patrol. What's next? The Seven Sons Market. Alright, awesome. That's a big hamster wheel. Just noticed that. Alright, we're going to go into the Seven Sons Coster Market. Alright, let's see. Anybody doing anything out of the ordinary? I don't think so. Alright, so it seems like everything is nice and neat and business as usual. So I'm going to move on and go check the Tarmaloon, I think it's called, auction house, and make sure nothing's going on, you know, over there. No thievery going on. Rogues all over the place like to steal stuff. So we're going to go check it out, make sure everything is A-okay. Oh, we hit the barrel and looking around. Nobody's really doing anything, and we're done patrolling this area. Everything's fine. Let's go to the Timor section and make sure the Timor section is fine. The Timor section is like the middle upper class area, so you know you got to make sure that they're all taken care of. You know, so we're gonna run over here, and looks like everything is good. Look up the alley. Nothing. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Let's take a stroll in their park over here. It's a little messy, but hey, okay, we'll deal with that. There's a noble walking around in the back. I don't think anything. I don't hear anything. Everything's pretty quiet. Still following my sparklies. And we're gonna get here to the thing and just make sure nothing's going on. Oh, Honey Boo Boo is right there, and we patrol. We are done. But wait, we're gonna go talk to the scared little girl. This is a perfect spot so you can add a scream when you reach that other one. So you can do some RPing, like, wait, did you hear that or something? So you talk to the little girl, you see her looking around all nervous. Continue, please help me. What's wrong, little girl? She gets all scared, you see there. I just heard some blood-curdling screams come from that home. And you're going to have the quest text, go make sure everything's okay. Alright, I'll check it out. You know, I'm brave. Thanks, sir. Alright, let's go on to the home, which is right behind us where she said she heard the screams. We're going to go in, knock, knock, knock. Is everything okay in there? And it's going to take a second to load. Taking more than a second. Oh, there we go. So we're inside the residence. And here's the door we came in. So now remember I told you this door was going to be shut until we did our other objective. So there's no way we can get through there. We can't break it down, can't knock, you know, none of that stuff is going to work. So we'll have to go this way. And remember I said I put a fire here, so if you wanted to invocate, you can invocate, do whatever you want. Here on this side, yeah, sure, we'll take all that stuff. And go back this way. And remember I told you I put an interactive door. Doesn't really mean anything. You can open it and go in it, but you can't close it. Kind of rude, but... Alright, so now check the dining hall. Alright, reached my objective. Now I have to check on the person. Hey, what are you doing? Okay, she was lifeless. She did give me the dungeon key. So we finished that quest. And we're headed back to the other side. You're now going to notice that, boom, there are sparklies on the door because you completed what I asked you to. And you got the key to open it. Now, you see that you don't have the key anymore in your inventory because you just used it to open the door. See how that works? And now we're going to come over here and there's going to be a little halfling standing here. What are you doing, little halfling? Troll! Troll! There's a troll in the dungeon! Yeah, it's my favorite line, sorry. Bad acting, but it makes me laugh. Alright, there, the music started because you picked the quest up. Let's interact with this and go into the dungeon. Remember our hidden thing we put there? It's barely visible. You can still see it. You can probably hide it some more, but that would be really, really bad. There you go. Oh, I ran through it. I got hit. Oh, I got hit again. Now I'm going to turn on God mode real quick, just so you can see some stuff. And there's our trolls, Troll Nate and Troll Nick from the Troll Clan. You see there's a door here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to... Oh, yeah, I can interact with it. Okay. But I can't leave the dungeon until I kill these two guys. I'm going to fighty. You know, do my little ultimate there. Where's my dog? Oh, there's a trap, so of course he's going to be over there. I'm going to fight these two trolls. Ow, you guys are hitting so hard, but I'm in God mode, so it's okay. Let's hit with some of this, and let's drop a... Boom, there we go. You know. Oh, that bet you that hurt. Oh, we're still fighting here. Oh, he's gonna drink a potion. Oh, what a cheater. I'm gonna cheat too. Hold on. There you go. Oh, I hit him for 11,000. What did you do? Oh, I hit him for 38 or 34,000. And I gained the level. I cheated. Instant kill. Remember, it's control space. If you just want to like make sure, like the encounter obviously was going well. I just had to kill him. I could have stood there and killed him, but pick up some loot. You see, obviously you finished it and the music stopped. I don't know where that sound's coming from. And now you see this door is clickable, and you can click here to leave the dungeon. And now we're out of the dungeon. Let's see where we spawn. Oh, back up here, huh? Okay, I'll have to fix that. You can pick where you spawn or you come out of. I'm gonna put it probably back at the same door we went in. Or maybe I can do one around the corner. I'll have to look and see. But we'll fix that. We're basically going to go back to the little girl and talk to her. You know, we feel all heroic. And now you could be mean. Like I put an option here to be mean. Did you find out where the screams were coming from? Yes, sweetie. It was the usual troll in the dungeon. No, I spelled that wrong. I have to go fix that. Dungeon. And then you can be troll. Did you kill it? Excuse me. You can say yes I did. Or you can be like, nope, I left it down there and told it that it can eat any little boy or girl that doesn't behave. You can be mean, you can be nice, you can be heroic or whatever. Then you tell her that, she starts crying. You see, you're being mean. She runs away or whatever. And that was mean, I know. And there it ends. She's just there looking at you like, oh, what a prick. Can't believe you told me that. And now you're done. You're the hero of the day. You've saved Ferelden or whatever for you Dragon Age fans. And now what is there to do but go and collect your bounty? So I'm going to run really quick, as much as I can. No, I'm out of it. Let my stamina build up, and then I'll run, do another sprint. It's like, yeah, you're going back to him. You're going to get your gold. You see on the map, on the mini map, it shows you where the guard is, Guard Frinko. Yay, I want my bounty or my booty. Guard Frinko! Hello, adventurer. Thanks for taking my patrol. Do you have any news to report? I sure do. You can either say, it was fairly quiet. Well, you see, not sure how to tell you, but you have a troll problem. Or there was an issue at the Potter's house. And he's going to see aggressive, not the Potters again. This week it's a troll. Last week it was a Dementor. Next time they're going to say well, let me not bore you with the details. You know, little funny stuff, fluff you can throw in there. It doesn't really do anything except for fluff. Sometimes you can get a cheap laugh from somebody who's a fan of, like, I love 80s genre stuff. I was born in the 70s, but I grew up through the 80s, so I love the 80s quirks and comedies and stuff, and sometimes I'll throw some, like, Tango and Cash reference or some reference from some other 80s movie. But thanks. And now all you have to do is get your gold, help in the patrol, collect reward. Where is my reward? He told you your reward was up by Sergeant Knox. So you're going to run up there and use my sprint. So I want my loot, I want my loot, I want my loot. You're going to keep going. Oh, I don't have any more sprint. Now I'm just running. Don't you want your loot? Come on, get some sprint. Find some somewhere. Going to get my loot, going to get my loot. Sergeant Knox has my loot. And you can't use people that are prominent figures as quest givers. Like, you can't add Sergeant Knox because obviously everybody's going to Sergeant Knox for quests. They don't want to bombard him with Foundry quests as well. So it's just the NPCs that aren't really used much. But here we go. Here's my loot. I'm going to collect my loot. Yay! I got a tempered symbol for a devoted cleric, and my loot failure on my own custom generated map still exists. And there you have it. That was your first quest of questing or creating a dungeon quest in the Foundry. Let's return to the Foundry, and we'll put our finishing touches on this. So there you did it. From start to end, you just completed your own quest, and you ran your own quest to debug it, and there was no bugs in it. Everything is good. Everything is nice and in order. What do I do now? Good question. You want to save it, obviously. And as a tip, I would say whenever you add a new bit of information, you hit Control S and save, just for the simple fact that the Foundry has been known to crash from time to time, or you don't really get any messages on server maintenance here. So if they're going to do an impromptu server maintenance and bring everything down, you could be in the middle of writing a quest out and bam, the server will go down. So you want to make sure you save after everything. There is an inane save thing embedded into the Foundry, where if you do crash, it'll try to recover from the last thing you were working on. Sometimes it's spot on and it will get everything you were just working on. Sometimes you'll go like a quest back and you'll have to redo some stuff. Like if you created a costume and you didn't save it, you might have to redo that costume again. So you want to make sure you keep saving it as much as you can. And now that we saved it, what do? Publish. And this will begin the publish process. Boom, you hit yes, and it'll start publishing the quest. I'll probably delete it later. If you want to try this quest, by all means, run through it, see how everything that we did on this map or in this story area, how everything works, how the transitions work. Feel free to run it yourself and see how it translates from the Foundry to live servers. And then you can reply to me with your ideas, with your thoughts, anything you might want to see. If you want to see me do a specific thing, like add another room or add different traps or how to do anything, beginner questions, I guess, feel free to post them on the comment section of this video. I'll be looking for those, and I will make follow-ups based on your questions. I'm also going to be working on an intermediate video and a hard mode video on doing some trickier stuff, like how do you set dialogue trees and ads to spawn on certain dialogues, because I do want to show you how to do where you talk to an NPC that's like, choose your fight, and you can either fight a dog, you can fight a gorilla. I don't know if there's any gorilla NPCs, but or you can fight a dinosaur. You know, you choose your fight, and you're gonna be like, "Ha, puny person, you! I'm not fighting your thing. I'm not gonna take part in your games." And then the guy's gonna be like, "Ah, suit yourself. Boom, fight all three." So you can do stuff like that, but there's a way to do it with putting people in prison and stuff. It's a little bit more advanced. So I'll make a video showing you how to do that if you want to see it. But if there's any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section below, and I will reply to those as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, this has been Santos with my Fail Gaming channel. See ya.